जय श्री माता जी। आप सभी साधकों का आज के सामूहिक सुबह के ध्यान में सहृदय से स्वागत है। हम सब सामूहिकता में श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करेंगे। कुंडली उठाकर स्वयं के कवच को धारण करेंगे। आवश्यकता अनुसार हम ये सुनिश्चित करेंगे हमारे लेफ्ट साइड में 1, 2 या 3 कैंडल चल रही हो। दोनों हाथ हृदय के स्तर पे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री आदि शक्ति हैं। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात हमारे इस शरीर में स्थापित ऊर्जा शक्ति है, आत्मा का प्रकाश है। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमसे आपका यह प्रातःकालीन ध्यान करा लीजिए। हम संपूर्ण चित्त भाव से, संपूर्ण निर्मल चित्त से आपके श्री चरणों की भक्ति में आज का यह ध्यान कर सकें, ऐसी अवस्था में आप हमें बनाए रखिए। राइट हैंड ऑन लेफ्ट सहस्त्रारा। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे मस्तिष्क में आइए। हमारे मस्तिष्क को आप अपने दैवी विवेक से संचालित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे मस्तिष्क के कण कण में, हमारे मस्तिष्क के प्रत्येक कमल की पंखुड़ियों के श्री गणेश आप जागृत करा दीजिए। हमारे मस्तिष्क में आपके सत विवेक को स्वयं चलित करा दीजिए। मदर, प्लीज कम इन टू माई ब्रेन। Mother, please make a room in my brain. Mother, let my brain be guided by your divine wisdom forever. Mother, let my brain be guided by your wisdom, your divine wisdom forever. We'll put our right hand on heart. प्रार्थना करेंगे, परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे हृदय में आइए। हमारे हृदय को आप अपने निर्मल प्रेम से भर दीजिए। हमारे हृदय का सभी अनामिक भय दूर करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे हृदय में आइए। Mother, please come into my heart. Let me clean my heart so that you are there. Let your nirmal love flow from my heart. Let my heart recognize nirmal love in every Sahaj Yogi, in every soul around us. दोनों हाथ भूमि माता पर। हम 3 बार ओंकार का उच्चारण लेंगे। मूलाधार से सहस्त्रार, सहस्त्रार से श्री विराट। ओंकार के उच्चारण से हम स्वयं की कुंडलिनी माता को आदि कुंडलिनी स्वरूप से एकाकार होने की प्रार्थना करेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री ओंकार हैं। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे अंदर स्थित आपकी गौरी कुलिनी माता को आपके आदि कुंडलिनी स्वरूप से एकाकार करा दीजिए। मदर, प्लीज मेक माय कुंडलिनी शक्ति compatible with your आदि कुंडलिनी शक्ति। चित्त को संपूर्णतः श्री विराट में स्थित करेंगे। विराट से चित्त के एक भाग को स्वयं के सहस्त्रार रीढ़ की हड्डी द्वारा भूमि माता में ले जाएंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री भूमि माता हैं। आप ही साक्षात पृथ्वी स्वरूपा है। श्री माता जी कृपा कर मेरे अंदर का समस्त जड़त्व, समस्त लिथार्जी, जो कुछ भी असहज है, जो जाने अनजाने में अब भी स्वयं में इकट्ठा करती हूँ, ऐसी सभी नकारात्मकता को आप अपने भूमि माता स्वरूप के रसातल में खींचकर नष्ट करा दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, मेरे इस मनुष्य शरीर में जो कोई भी व्याधियां हैं, जो आपके परमात्मा के प्रकाश को कम करती हैं, मेरे अंदर स्थित आपके प्रतिबिंब को संपूर्णतः उजागर नहीं कर पा रही हैं, ऐसी सभी व्याधियों से, ऐसे सभी जड़त्व से, पूर्वजों के भूतकाल की नकारात्मकता से आप हमें मुक्त करा दीजिए। ऐसी सभी नकारात्मकता को आप भूमि माता के रसातल में खींच कर नष्ट करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, हम स्वयं के मूल स्वरूप में उतर सकें, हमें ऐसा बना दीजिए। चित्त के एक भाग को पुनः श्री विराट से सहस्त्रार, सहस्त्रार से विशुद्धि, विशुद्धि से दोनों कंधों एवं हथेलियों के माध्यम से भूमि माता में ले जाएंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, हमें संपूर्णतः आपका गणेश बना लीजिए। राइट हैंड टुवर्ड्स श्री माता जी, लेफ्ट हैंड ऑन मदर अर्थ। सीधा हाथ हम श्री माता जी के समक्ष रखेंगे, लेफ्ट हैंड हम भूमि माता पे रखेंगे। प्रार्थना करेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री गणेश हैं। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात परम चैतन्य हैं। श्री माता जी कृपावंत होकर हमारे मूलाधार चक्र के श्री गणेश, हमारे गौरी कुंडलिनी माता के श्री गणेश, आप संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमें संपूर्णतः कण कण में, रोम रोम में आपके श्री गणेश संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप साक्षात श्री लक्ष्मी विष्णु हैं, श्री राज राजेश्वरी, श्री गृह लक्ष्मी, श्री हजरत अली फातिमा भी हैं। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे नाभि चक्र के श्री गणेश आप संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। हमें आपके समाधान एवं संतुलन में स्थित करा दीजिए। हमें स्वयं के नाभि चक्र को, आपके विश्व निर्मल धर्म को धारण करा दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री ब्रह्मदेव सरस्वती हैं। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे स्वादिष्ठान चक्र के श्री गणेश आप संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। हमारे अंदर आपकी शुद्ध विद्या, शुद्ध इच्छा एवं शुद्ध ज्ञान संपूर्णतः स्थित करा दीजिए। हमारी चित्त शक्ति को आपकी निर्मलता प्रदान कीजिए। हमारे अंदर स्थित भक्ति भाव को आप अनन्यता प्रदान कीजिए। हमें आपके विश्व बंधुत्वता के आशीर्वाद में स्थित करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात पंच महाभूत स्वामिनी है। श्री माता जी कृपावंत होकर हमारे अंदर आपके पंच तत्वों का संतुलन करा दीजिए। आपके पंच तत्वों के समस्त आशीर्वाद को, समस्त गुरु ज्ञान को, समस्त शक्तियों को जागृत कर हमारे वातावरण में संपूर्णतः आपके पंच तत्व को, उसके संतुलन को स्थापित करा दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात हमारी गुरु माँ हैं। श्री माता जी कृपावंत होकर हमारे भवसागर के 10 गुरुओं के श्री गणेश आप संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। आपके गुरु माँ स्वरूप के आशीर्वाद में हमारे भवसागर को स्वयं चलित करा दीजिए। हमारे भवसागर में आ चुकी और जाने अनजाने आ रही सभी दोष बाधाओं से, जो 10 गुरुओं के काल से आ रही हैं, हमें उनसे मुक्त करा दीजिए। 10 गुरुओं का गुरु ज्ञान एवं शक्ति हमारे भवसागर में जागृत कर हमें स्वयं के गुरु पद में स्थित करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, गुरु पद जो हमें सदैव आपके गुरु माँ स्वरूप के श्री चरणों में स्थित रखेगा। श्री माता जी, गुरु पद जो हमें सदैव आपके आदि गुरु दत्तात्रेय स्वरूप के आशीर्वाद में जागृत रखेगा। श्री माता जी, वह गुरु तत्व जो हमारे अंदर प्रत्येक कण कण में आपके विश्व निर्मल धर्म को जागृत रखेगा। श्री माता जी, ऐसा गुरु तत्व जो हमें सदैव आपके गणेश स्वरूप में जागृत रखेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी कृपावंत होकर हमें आपके गुरुमा स्वरूप के आशीर्वाद में स्थित करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात माँ जगदम्बा हैं, माँ दुर्गा हैं। हमारे अनहद के श्री गणेश आप संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। हमारे अनहद से उत्पन्न सभी प्रकार के नकारात्मकता के भाव, जिनसे हम जाने अनजाने सामूहिकता को ठेस पहुंचाते हैं, ऐसी सभी षड्रिपु से मुझे मुक्त करा दीजिए। हमें दिखावे की चमक धमक से शून्य कर आत्मा के प्रकाश में जागृत करा दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, हमारे अंदर स्थित आपके आत्मा के प्रकाश में और हमारे इस मनुष्य शरीर में कोई भी फर्क ना रहे। हम स्वयं आपके शक्तियों का प्रतिबिंब बने, उसके प्रचारक बने, धारक बने, ऐसा निर्मल हमारा हृदय बना दीजिए। श्री माता जी, प्लीज bless us with your power of Shri Durga in us. Shri Mata ji, please bless us with your power of Shri Durga in us. Ma Jagdamba in us, that will make us always stand in a situation which will make us Ganesha every time. श्री माता जी, हम स्वयं आपके बच्चे हैं, आपके श्री चरणों के अण हैं, कण हैं। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर इस सत्य में मेरे हृदय को स्थित करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री राधा कृष्ण हैं, श्री विष्णु माया, श्री रुक्मणी विट्ठल हैं। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे विशुद्धि चक्र के श्री गणेश आप संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। हमारे विशुद्धि चक्र में आपके साक्षी भाव को स्थित कर हमारे वाणी और कर्मों में आपकी माधुर्यता प्रदान कीजिए। विशुद्धि चक्र से उत्पन्न 16,000 कला शक्तियों को हमारे अंदर जागृत कर स्वयं आपके लिए स्वचलित करा दीजिए। इन शक्तियों के सत सत विवेक में हमें जागृत करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री जीसस क्राइस्ट हैं, हमारे आज्ञा चक्र के श्री गणेश आप संपूर्णतः जागृत कर हमें आपके क्षमा ज्ञान में उतार दीजिए। क्षमा ज्ञान जो हमें अहंकार एवं प्रति अहंकार से सदैव मुक्त रखेगा। क्षमा ज्ञान जो हमें आपके निर्मल प्रेम में स्थित रखेंगे। ऐसे आपके जीसस क्राइस्ट के आशीर्वादों में हमारे आज्ञा चक्र को आशीर्वादित करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात सहस्त्रार स्वामिनी है, मोक्ष प्रदायिनी है। कृपा कर हमारे सहस्त्रार के श्री गणेश आप संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। आपके आदि शक्ति स्वरूप में हमारे सहस्त्रार में आप हमें आशीर्वादित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सहस्त्रार से ऊपर स्थित सभी पीठों के श्री गणेश आप संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। इन पीठों के आशीर्वाद में हम सदैव स्थित रह सकें, उसके लिए हमारी चित्त शक्ति को आपके श्री विराट स्वरूप में संपूर्णतः स्थित करा दीजिए। चित्त के एक भाग को मूलाधार चक्र की राइट पेटल पे लाएंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री कार्तिकेय हैं, हमारी 84 दशलख योनियों से चले आ रहे सभी प्रकार के स्वभाव आदि दोष आप संपूर्णतः नष्ट करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें आपके श्री कार्तिकेय स्वरूप के सत सत विवेक में जागृत करा दीजिए। हमें आपके श्री कार्तिकेय स्वरूप की निर्मल निरंजन दृष्टि उनके समय सूचकता में स्थित करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात राक्षस हंत्री हैं, मेरे और मेरे वातावरण में स्थित सभी प्रकार के राक्षसों से मुझे मुक्त करा दीजिए। मुक्त करा दीजिए श्री माता जी। मंत्र लेंगे। श्री कार्तिकेय साक्षात, राक्षस हंत्री साक्षात। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात श्री कार्तिकेय साक्षात श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात राक्षसहंत्री साक्षात श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। We'll take our left hand towards Shri Mataji and right hand ऑन मदर अर्थ। चित्त को मूलाधार चक्र की लेफ्ट पेटल पे लाएंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमें आपकी अबोधिता शक्ति में, निर्मलता में जागृत करा दीजिए। हमारी सोच में, समझ में, आचरण में, व्यवहार में आपकी अबोधिता शक्ति को स्वयं चलित करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे मूलाधार चक्र की बैक पेटल पर आप हमें आपकी पवित्रता शक्ति का अभेद्य कवच प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी ऐसी पवित्रता शक्ति जो आपकी सामूहिकता को संपूर्णतः आनंद से प्लावित कर सके। श्री माता जी ऐसी पवित्रता शक्ति जो हमारे वातावरण में, हमारे कॉन्टैक्ट्स में आने वाले सभी लोगों के अंदर आपके प्रति समर्पण को जागृत करा दे। ऐसी पवित्रता शक्ति में हमें स्थित करा दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे मूलाधार चक्र की फ्रंट पेटल पर आप हमें आपकी अलहददाई, आनंददाई, शुभता से परिपूर्ण मांगल्यता शक्ति में स्थित करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमें आपका गणेश बना लीजिए। आपके गणेश तत्व में हमें जागृत करा दीजिए। चित्त को मूलाधार चक्र की लेफ्ट पेटल पर रखाएंगे, प्रार्थना करेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी आप ही साक्षात श्री भैरवनाथ हैं। हमारे ईड़ा नाड़ी के संरक्षण करता है। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे ईड़ा नाड़ी में आपके श्री भैरवनाथ स्वरूप की शक्तियों को संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। इन शक्तियों से हमारे भूतकाल की सभी बाधाओं से, जड़त्व से, अंधकार से हमें मुक्त करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे लेफ्ट मूलाधार चक्र में स्थित सभी प्रकार की हवस एवं वासना आदि दोष जो मेरे माता पिता अथवा मेरे मातृकुल पितृकुल से चली आ रही हैं, जो मेरे पास्ट, प्रेजेंट और फ्यूचर के पति पत्नी और इन सभी के मातृकुल पितृकुल से चली आ रही हैं, वह कृपा करा भूमि माता में विलीन करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे लेफ्ट स्वादिष्ठान चक्र में सभी प्रकार की अशुद्ध विद्या, अशुद्ध इच्छा, अशुद्ध ज्ञान जो मेरे माता पिता अथवा मेरे मातृकुल एवं पितृकुल से चली आ रही हैं, जो मेरे पास्ट, प्रेजेंट और फ्यूचर के पति पत्नी और इन सभी के मातृकुल पितृकुल से चली आ रही हैं, वह कृपा करा भूमि माता में विलीन करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे लेफ्ट नाभि में स्थित सभी प्रकार के अशुद्ध धर्म, जड़त्व एवं असहजताएं, असंतुलन जो मेरे माता पिता अथवा मेरे मातृकुल पितृकुल से चली आ रही हैं, जो मेरे पास्ट, प्रेजेंट और फ्यूचर के पति पत्नी और उन सभी के मातृकुल पितृकुल से चली आ रही हैं, वह कृपा करा भूमि माता में विलीन करा दीजिए। हमारे नाभि चक्र को संपूर्णतः स्वच्छ करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमारे सबकॉन्शियस एवं कलेक्टिव सबकॉन्शियस में जो भी बाधाएं महसूस हो रही हैं, उन्हें आपके भैरवनाथ स्वरूपी शक्तियों से नष्ट करा दीजिए। हमें उनसे मुक्त करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी आपके बाल भैरव स्वरूप के आशीर्वाद में हमारी ईरा नाड़ी के प्रत्येक चक्र को जागृत करा दीजिए और हमारी क्रुद्ध महाकाली स्वरूप को संपूर्णतः शांत कर, सौम्य कर ग्रह लक्ष्मी स्वरूप में जागृत करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी प्लीज ब्लेस अस विद योर पावर ऑफ श्री महाकाली इन अस so that you can make us your instrument to destroy all the negativity and construct your divine world. श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री भद्र काली हैं, काली कल्कि है। आपके भद्रकाली स्वरूप में हमारे अंदर स्थित सभी अभद्रताओं से हमें मुक्त करा दीजिए। आपके काली कल्कि स्वरूप के निर्मल प्रेम में स्थित करा दीजिए। हमें आपकी महाकाली स्वरूप की आनंदमयी, ममतामयी, करुणामयी सौम्यता में जागृत करा दीजिए। ऐसी सौम्यता जो हमें आपके महालक्ष्मी स्वरूप में स्थित रखेंगी। राइट हैंड टुवर्ड्स श्री माता जी, लेफ्ट हैंड टुवर्ड्स स्काई एलिमेंट। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री महासरस्वती हैं। इस संपूर्ण सृष्टि में चलायमान शक्ति है। आप ही करता है, आप ही भोगता है। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर इस सत्य में मुझे स्थित करा दीजिए। हमें शून्य प्रतिक्रिया स्थिति में जागृत करा दीजिए। हमारे अंदर आपके श्री महासरस्वती स्वरूप के सभी सृजनात्मक एवं रचनात्मक गुणों में स्थित करा दीजिए। हमारी पिंगला नाड़ी को आपके श्री महासरस्वती स्वरूप के सत्सत विवेक में जागृत करा दीजिए। हमारी पिंगला नाड़ी से होने वाले प्रत्येक कार्य में आपकी महासरस्वती स्वरूप की शक्तियों को जागृत करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री हनुमान हैं। आपके श्री हनुमान स्वरूपी नवधा शक्तियों में, सिद्धियों में हमें स्थित करा दीजिए। इन सिद्धियों को स्वयं आपके लिए स्वचलित करा दीजिए। जैसे श्री हनुमान जी की भक्ति श्री राम जी के प्रति है, ऐसी अनन्य निर्मल भक्ति हमारे अंदर आपके श्री चरणों के लिए स्थित करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारी भक्ति और समर्पण में अभी भी जो त्रुटियां हैं, हमें उनसे मुक्त करा दीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारी भक्ति में अभी भी जो त्रुटियां हैं, लालच है, हमें उनसे मुक्त करा दीजिए। हमें आपकी अनन्य निर्मल भक्ति में स्थित करा दीजिए। हमें संपूर्णतः शांत कर, सौम्य कर, शून्यता में स्थित करा दीजिए। Both hands towards Shri Mataji. We'll take our chitta to our center heart. परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री सदाशिव हैं। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारे मध्य अनहद से उजागर चौथी नाड़ी के श्री गणेश आप संपूर्णतः जागृत करा दीजिए। हमें स्वयं के शिवत्व में विलीन करा दीजिए। चित्त को मध्य अनहद से सहस्त्रार, सहस्त्रार से पुनः श्री विराट में स्थित रखेंगे। श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री विराटांगना विराट है। कृपावंत होकर हमारे प्रत्येक चक्र को आपके श्री विराट शक्ति से जोड़ दीजिए। हमें आज के आत्म साक्षात्कार में, आपके गुरु ज्ञान में, आज के आत्म साक्षात्कार में द्विगुणित करा दीजिए।
coast, west coast to east coast 4 times in 10 days. I must thank Hamid for singing and this beautiful poem, which reminds me of once Venugopalan said that his name is Venugopalan, meaning the Gopala, that is Sri Krishna, had a flute and I am the flute of Sri Krishna. Then he says, I have never seen Sri Krishna, I have never seen his flute, I have never heard his flute. I was born in a family which was Brahmin family, they called me Venugopal. So I became Venugopal, but I have never seen Sri Krishna, I have not seen Sri Rama, I haven't seen anyone, I have not seen Muhammad Sahib, I have not seen Zardosht. So how can I say that they existed first? And then how can I say I am a Hindu? I could have been a Muslim, I could have been a Christian, I could have been a Persian, anyone. So how can I say that because my mother gave me the name, how can I become a Hindu? So one thing is definite. Mother has given me realization. To her I can see. I am in her presence. See, when Muhammad Sahib lived, how they tortured him. They even poisoned him. When Fatima came in and Ali was there, they killed their 2 sons. Nobody would accept the incarnation when it exists. They always like the incarnation which is dead. So do what you like about it. And then he said that now mother has told me that Sri Krishna was the truth, Muhammad Sahib was the truth, they were the flowers on the same tree. Because she's given me the truth, I believe her because she's truthful. And that's why I have to believe now, not only because my parents told me I was a Hindu. That's what it is. After coming to Sahaja Yoga, you see the truth. Even if I tell you Muhammad Sahib was the true prophet and was Dattatreya himself, the essence of the Guru Tattva, Hindus are not going to believe. And also, I don't want to say, but there are certain people who would beat me if I say that. Like people who do not believe at all that Muhammad Sahib was the prophet. Same thing can happen about Sri Krishna. But this is not true. The truth is all of them came from God. They are part and parcel of that great ocean of Chaitanya, no doubt about it. But as the time went on, people started forming their groups. They never wanted anybody to form the groups. Because I said that Muhammad Sahib came on this earth as Guru Nanaka, and his sister Nanaki was nobody else but Fatima. It's a fact. You feel the vibrations, you can see the truth. When I say that, you feel the vibrations. So what is the quarrel between the Sikhs and the Muslims? There should be no quarrel at all. And if he is Dattatreya, what is the quarrel between the Hindus and the Muslims? Nonsense. They are worshipping the same person. Same prophet came again and again. So the Israelis are there, these Jews, they call themselves Jews. They were the disciples, they say so, of Abraham and Moses, and they are the same. So why do they hate each other? It's a question to me, I just don't understand. See, when you understand the truth that we are all one and guided by the same guide, the principle of Guru Tattva, then there cannot be any difference. Same about incarnations. Christ is the same as Sri Ganesha. It's a fact. You can feel it on the vibrations. No. Don't have to ask anybody else. You can see the absolute. Now, whatever is the truth just now, you see. But you want to believe in something ancient. Baba, that one is not here. Just now I am here. You see? That's the point. to see. Then all these attachments will come to Sahaja Yoga, and you will see that all these great prophets, incarnations, were the true things. We are among ourselves forming groups. So group forming is against religion. May God bless you. That is how all problems now, the Muslims are fighting among themselves. How can it be? You followed only one Muhammad. Now Iraq, Iran, why are they fighting? Hindus are fighting with Sikhs. Imagine, the Sikhs were Hindus, made into Sikhs. See the stupidity of the whole thing. And then people think there is no God. Now there's another clan coming out saying there's no God, because if these people follow God, how are they fighting? But they don't follow God. What they are following is their own concept about God, which is wrong. They try to limit God, they cannot. And this is what Sahaja Yogis have to understand, that we now have become universal beings. We have become universal beings now. So to us, religion is within ourselves, which is to be respected. They reside, all of them, within ourselves, you know very well. You have to take the name of Ali and Fatima when you have diabetes. You have to take, you can't help it, whether you are a Hindu or a Muslim. If you have the cancer of the stomach, you have to take the name of Dattatreya. Whether you are Chinese, Japanese, makes no difference. When it comes to sickness, then they agree. Otherwise they don't. But Sahaja Yogis should know before becoming sick. Alright? God bless. So, now the program is over today. I'll be going away. You all have your dinner. What time is the evening program? So, but what about food is ready for you here. You have your food. And I don't think we should have anything dinner in the night. We can have some snack. In the night, if you want, you can have some snacks after the program. Not. So now, you see, I'm going away. What time is the program? Program starts at 8. So I hope you'll make it convenient to reach there at 8. Alright? There are 1 or 2 little presents. Now one more thing I have to tell you. That today, in a way, I feel very happy and joyous and victorious, because the European and the American tour is over now for this year. I've been traveling, really, I tell you, if I tell you, you'll be shocked. In 10 days, I traveled across from east to west coast to east coast 4 times. In 10 days. Today we are going to have the puja of Fatima Bi, who was the symbol of Graha Lakshmi. And so we are going to have the puja of the Graha Lakshmi principle within us. As the housewife has to finish every work, everything in the household, and then she goes for a bath. In the same way this morning, I had to do lots of things, and then I could come for your puja. Because today the housewife's jobs were many, so I had to finish them like a good housewife. Now, the principle of Graha Lakshmi has been evolved and developed by the divine. It's not a human being's creation. And as you know, it resides in the left navel. The Graha Lakshmi is the one that is represented in the life of Fatima, who was the daughter of Muhammad Sahib. Now she is always born in a relationship to a guru which is of virginity, of purity. So she comes as a sister or she comes as a daughter. Now the beauty of Fatima's life is that after the death of Muhammad Sahib, as usual, there were fanatic people who thought they can take the religion into their hands and can make it a very fanatic thing. And the attention was not paid so much towards the ascent of the person. Even Muhammad Sahib has described his son-in-law in many ways. And he is the only one, or this another incarnation of Brahmadeva, who came on this earth. Ali came on this earth. He was the incarnation of Brahmadeva. And his another incarnation was Sopandev, which you can go to Pune, you can see the temple of Sopandev there. What's with this weight? So we have Ali and his wife Fatima, who incarnated on the principle of the left navi. She stayed in her house, in her household, and she observed what you call a kind of a parda or naqab as they call it, to cover her face. Is a symbol that a woman who is a housewife has to save her chastity by covering her face, because she was a beautiful woman and they were born in a country which was very, very violent, and she would have been definitely attacked in case she had not lived in that kind of fashion. As you know, in the time of Christ, though Mary was Mahalakshmi's incarnation, had to be very, very potential personality. And Christ did not want anybody to know what she was. But though she was in the house, she was Shakti. So she allowed her sons, or actually ordered them, to fight those fanatics who were trying to deny the authority of her husband. And you know, Hassan and Hussein, they were killed there. It's a very beautiful thing how the Mahalakshmi Tattva of Sita took a form of Vishnu Maya, just to establish the beautiful principle of a housewife. Now she was very powerful, no doubt, and she knew that her children will be killed. But these people are never killed, they never die, nor do they suffer. It's a drama they have to play to show people how stupid they are. Whereas as a result of that, another system started where they respected saints. Like in India, Shia people respect awliyas, or we can call them the people who are realized souls like Nizamuddin Sahab. Then we have got in Chishti, we have got in Ajmer, Hazrat Chishti. All these great saints were respected by Shias. But still, they could not transcend the limits of religiosity. So they also became extremely fanatic. Firstly, they would not see to another religion where they had saints. They would not respect the saints who belonged to another religion. And even when we had a great saint like Sainath of Shirdi, who was a Muslim to begin with, and it is said that Fatima herself brought him as a child in her lap and gave it to some lady. It said so. We did not deny, as far as the Hindus were concerned, his saintliness, but the Muslims did not accept him. There's another one called Haji Malang, who is very near Bombay, who was a realized soul. He too realized the fanaticisms of the Shias. Shia word comes from Shia in UP. Sita is called as Sia. Sitaji is called as Sia. They also did not realize that there are saints who are not so-called Muslims, but they are saints. So they could not get out of it. So we have another one called Haji Malang, who was worshipped by Hindus. Some Muslims also go there, no doubt. And this Haji Malang was quite worried about the fanaticism of the Shias, so he appointed some Hindus to worship him, just to counterbalance. They did all kinds of things. There are many saints like that. I went to Bhopal. There's another big saint who was buried. But his all disciples were just depending on the earnings of that place, which was very bad. Even Hazrat Nizamuddin's things are the same way as the Hindus do. They all make an earnings. I mean, it's a kind of a commercial business. So this saint died and was buried there. There were many people who were depending on it when I went there. I just, by the way, asked them, what is your religion? So they said, we are Muslims. I said, what was the religion of the saint who died? He said, saints have no religions. So I said, then why do you want to follow religion? Why don't you follow his religion? They have no religions. Even it is said in Sanskrit, the sannyasis have no religions. They are dharmati, they go beyond the religion. But as it has happened with every incarnation, it has happened even with the Shia people, with the Sunnis, with the Hindus, with the Muslims and everyone, that they made a fanatic group. Now fanaticism itself is absolutely against religion, against your innate religion within yourself, because it creates poison. It's a venomous thing. It makes you hate others. When you start hating others, then it reacts in you as horrible poison, which eats up all that is beautiful within you. Hating anyone is the worst thing that human beings can do, but they can do it. They can do whatever they like. Animals don't hate anyone. Can you imagine? They don't know how to hate. They bite someone because that is their nature. They cut someone because that is their nature. They never hate someone. They may not like someone, but this hatred, which is a poison, is a speciality of human conception and human absorption. Only human beings can hate. And this horrible thing, hatred, was settled between even the Muslims, which was not done. This Karbala was not created for hatred, but for love. Everything that was done for love was converted into hatred in every religion. Now the worst part of the whole thing is that one part which hates thinks the other part is the worst of all. And the another part thinks that the first part is the worst of all. Under what rule, law or logic they decide, that is their own lookout. So they club together like that. While this principle of the Graha Lakshmi was specially created to overcome that hatred, to subdue that icy stuff called hatred, to remove from the minds of the people hatred, this Graha Lakshmi principle was created. How? In the family, when you have a household, the Graha Lakshmi principle has to subdue the hatred between the children, between the husband and the children. But if she herself enjoys her hatred, then how can she subdue it? She is the source of that peace which subdues hatred. Now in India we have joint family. You too have relations like uncles, aunties, this, that. The housewife's job is to smooth out all angularities of people which creates friction. Now the man has to worship a housewife. He said so, yatra narya pujyante tatra ramante devata. Wherever the housewife is respected, there only the gods reside. In our country, I must say, credit must go to the housewives. Because we are no good for economics, no good for politics, administration, hopeless. Menfolk are useless. They don't know any household work or anything. Women have kept it to themselves. But our society's first class is maintained by the women of the household. So the man has to respect the housewife. That's very important. If he does not respect his housewife, there's no possibility of any Graha Lakshmi Tattva being maintained. It's like the preservation of that principle of a housewife. But some men, many of them, think that it is their birthright to ill-treat their wives, to torture them, to say all kinds of things, to be angry, if she is a good woman. But if she is a nagger, if she is a bhoot, then they are subdued, completely subdued. If the wife is a bhoot, then the husband always sort of tries to please her and be extremely kind to her. She is a bhoot after all, be careful. Don't know what time the bhoot will come like a snake on you. And if she knows how to nag or to argument, then also they are afraid. There's no love. They have no love or respect for her. But they have an awe, a fear. And they are afraid of such a woman. Now some women think if they become flirtish, then the husband are better controlled. But their basic principle they lose. The basic Shakti that they have, they lose. And they land up in difficulties. So, the basic principle of a Graha Lakshmi is to respect her chastity. to respect her chastity, outside, inside. That is the steadiness of it. Of course, most of the men take advantage of it. If the wife is docile or obedient, they make it a point that they just rule the wife left and right. All right? But this woman, the housewife, has to know that she is not docile. She is obedient to her own righteousness, to her own virtues, to her own qualities. If the husband is stupid, all right, he's stupid like a child, finished. But the husband has to know that he must respect, otherwise he is a lost case, he's finished. He's good for nothing. First thing is that he must see the woman in the household is respected as a Graha Lakshmi. Then the blessings flow. But in no way he should insult her or be unkind to her and raise his voice or say things to her. But the wife has to be the one who is to be respected. I have so many times said, your wife is dominating, give her 2 slaps on the face. Of course, no doubt. She has not to be dominating. She has to remove the dominating forces of others. She is the source of peace. She is the source of joy. And she is the peacemaker. If she is the one who creates problems, then you can slap her nicely, bring her to her shape. It's all right. So it's a Graha Lakshmi Tattva is mutual. It doesn't depend only on the wife or the husband, but both of them. So once if you are making your wife suffer, your left nabi can never improve. Or if you are a bad wife, your left nabi cannot improve. Now in the West, the problem with the women is this, that they don't realize what is their boundary. An 80-year-old woman also would like to look like a bride. They do not feel their dignity and enjoy their dignity within themselves. They are the queen of the house. But they want to behave like cheapish, childish, young, frivolous girl. They don't feel the dignity of their being. They talk too much. They behave in a manner that doesn't behove a housewife. Like they'll take out their hands, talk like this, as the fisherwomen do when they sell their fish to someone and when they have to fight. Or they shout. Sometimes they shout also. I mean, this, I've heard they shout. And sometimes they beat their husbands. That's the limit. They start always comparing themselves with the husband to begin with. Like, I am such a rich man, a rich man's daughter. I am from such and such family. My husband is from such a low family. He has no money, nothing. He is not educated, so he'll treat him in a manner that show no respect. Such a woman will lose all her powers. Also in her own ways, she will feel guilty. She'll feel guilty because, first of all, nobody has right to look down upon anyone whatsoever, in Sahaja Yoga especially. Then to look down upon your husband is something unbelievable.
परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री फातिमा भी हैं। आप ही साक्षात श्री हज़रत अली फातिमा भी हैं। कृपा कर आप हम सभी को आपके हज़रत अली फातिमा भी जी के आशीर्वादों में स्थित करा दीजिए। हम ग्रह लक्ष्मी स्वरूप की शक्तियों में उनके आनंद में उतर सकें, ऐसे हमें आत्म साक्षात्कार में जागरूक करा दीजिए। थैंक यू श्री माता जी फॉर दिस डिवाइन विजडम। थैंक यू श्री माता जी फॉर एवरीथिंग। थैंक यू श्री माता जी। हम सभी सामूहिकता में श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करेंगे। कुंडलिनी उठाकर स्वयं के कवच को धारण करेंगे। श्री माता जी, आज दिवस हमारा प्रत्येक क्षण आपकी इच्छा अनुसार बीते, हमें ऐसा बनाए रखिएगा। आज का यह सामूहिक प्रातःकालीन ध्यान यहीं संपन्न होता है। आप सभी की आनंदमय उपस्थिति के लिए हृदय से आभार। जय श्री माता जी।